Okay, hello everyone. Okay, today we'll start a new lesson in part 3. It's about, you can see in our page, it's part 3 is comprehension skill. The skill that you may comprehend, you aware of what you are doing, especially reading in here. So our target today in part 3, unit 1, is scanning and previewing. So what is scanning, what is previewing? We studied already, right? But here we will go in detail and we have the practice. The sign here have a lot for you to be aware of what you are doing of our strategy. Okay, so before we start, let's go to our vocabulary first, then let's take to the text like from a text. Okay, the first one is tin. A silver, white metal or chemical element of atomic number 50. It's called atomic number 50. It's a silver white metal, right? It's similar to metal, but it's not metal. They use it a bullet, right? See, it's voicing, man. Yeah, some knob hand, right? They make it in a bullet, right? Okay. And example, different material are used: brass, tin, galvanese, iron, and filter. Okay, so I don't read example because I have a lot of strategy today. Yeah? And zinc, galvanese, iron or steel, especially as a material of domestic utensil or corrugated wood. We can say atomic number 30 here for the chemistry. We use it especially in the roof, right? Roof of our house. What does it mean, man? Yes, I'm saying. Another verb is paperback, a book bound in stiff paper or flexible card. We can say a soft cover, especially the cover of the book, right? They have soft, so what is it? Yeah, style. Okay. And autistic, related to or affected by autism. We can say mental condition and nerve, that you have a disease with the nerve. So what is it, man? Chứng ngữ sai xa, right? Related to the nerves. Autistic. Come from verb autism, right? Okay. And disillusion, disappointment resulting from the discovery that something is not as good as one believe in it. We can say this destroy one belief. When it is disillusion, that means they do it, but it is not the real one. In Khmer, they do it, but it's not the real one. They fake you. Right? Okay. And another one is GIS, the substance or general meaning of a speak or text. We can say main idea, general idea in the text. It is GIS, the same main idea in Khmer. Yeah, very good terms. And another one is referendum, a general vote by the electorate on a single political question that have been referred to them for the right decision. We can say vote for idea, right? Referendum. We have the referendum before the vote, right? Just like in nowadays, right? The community vote, get the referendum. So what does it mean, man? Yeah, very good. To get the idea from the voter. Okay, and another one is overlap. Is partly coincide in time. We can say coincide, right? That something about something that stimulate in Khmer. Yeah, John, continue. And the word is Bejol, a dance, bread roll in the shape of a ring made by boiling dough and then baking it. We can say roll shaped bread. The bread, right? Especially the foreigner like it in Khmer. Yeah, no problem. And another one is strike. Okay, hit forcibly and deliberately with one hand or weapon or another implement. We can say hit attack, assault, right? When you strike somebody, you hit somebody, right? Okay, so what does it mean, come on? Yeah, okay, yes, right. So we go our strategy, and before we go, let's open on page 106. 105 is about comprehension reading, right? So introduction the first. We can go all together and see what is it about. We will know it very clear when we do the exam. Okay, reading is a complex process. First of all, when you read, you need to recognize the letter and word on the page. Your eyes send information into your brain, which then try to make sense of it by connecting it with information and idea already stored in your memory. So reading is just like you store the memory in your brain, right? Just like you store the information in your computer. When you want to get it, you just call it back. In our computer, in our brain, just like computer, right? Call it back and then you get it. It up to your memory. You have a good memory or low memory. Okay, about the sentence, you can store about the passage, about the topic and writer, about language and the word. Okay, if you are a good reader, most of this happen automatically, very, very quick. You do not have to spend time thinking about the letter, the word and the sentence. This means you can concentrate on idea in the text. So if you read it a long time, right? Mean you read it very often. Then after you read, you will know what the keys that mean the main idea, what it's talking about. If are you a good reader, and to become a good reader, you need to learn skill that good reader use to make the reading process more efficiency. In part 2, you learn about the practice some word and sentence level skill. Okay, the part 1 scanning and previewing. Part 2 will learn about practice some word in sentence level skill. In part 3, you will focus on practicing skill reader to discover and follow the idea in the text. Okay, part 3 will study about the skill that we discover and follow the idea in the text, right? So this is part 1. We study about scanning and previewing. Okay, so let's open on page 107, our part 1. In this unit, you will learn about the practice way to get information quickly from a text. Okay, scanning. You scan when you are looking for a specific piece of information in a text. Scanning is very useful skill that you can use often in daily life. For example, you scan a course listing, a website, homepage, or the index of a book. Practice in scanning will also help your reading. You will learn to recognize words faster and develop more flexibility in the way you move your eye when you read. Okay, so in here, scanning just means we scan a specific piece of information in the text, just specific piece of information, and then you have to make yourself flexibility to move your eye very quick, right? It's too many keys in this text when you read. Okay, how to scan? In this unit of reading, your eye need to move quickly. They also need to move up and down around the page, not just the left or the right along the line of print. It is not actually necessary to read many words when you scan. You should read just enough of the text to find what you are looking for. How much you read will depend on the text you are scanning and the information you are looking for. There are 2 groups of exercise in this section: scanning for information in different kind of text and scanning for keyword in the passage. Okay, so scanning, how to scan? You just look your eye quickly through all the angle, right? Not just only one part of that. And we have two types here. The first one is scan for information in different context, and the second is scan for keyword in the passage. Okay, so the first strategy in here, we can see, start on the first, scanning for information. Then we will, after we finish all, we will practice exercise, right? It's a lot of exercise for you. Scanning for information. In this exercise, you will scan to find answer to WA question: who, what, why, where, when, and how. You may not know exactly what word to look for, but you do not know what kind of information you need. For example, first one, right? Where, look for time, day, and date. How many, look for number. Where, look for the name of a place. Some questions include words that can have, for example, which person, look for a name, and what book, look for a title. So scan information just like WA question: what, where, when, why, and how. And it is the essay of the information of the journal they get to get essay, right? Come from this. WA question is very often. Okay, this is what we gonna scan for information. Okay, so go on strategy 2. We will do it in the exercise next one. Okay, scanning for keyword. We use it frequently in our text, right? On page 116, 116, scanning for keyword. In these exercises, you will continue to practice moving your eye quickly as you look for the keyword. Later, you will use this skill to help you find the answer to the question about the idea in the passage. Remember, you are not working on comprehension, you're just practicing moving your eye quick. Do not worry about the meaning of the word or about the unfamiliar word. So practicing is move your eye quickly to see the keyword. Just like the where is anchor word. So your keyword is anchor word, right? Look whatever it is in the anchor word in the text and then find the anchor word. In here we will practice it soon. Okay, so go on another page. It's about previewing. Similar to scanning, right? But it's used in different way. Okay, on page 117. Previewing is what you should do before you read. It is closely related to skimming, as you will learn in Unit 6. When you preview, you take a very quick look at the passage so you can get a sense of what is it about. The keys, how to read. This will help you read it more effectively. Preview can help you with all of your reading. It is particularly helpful for course assignment and for reading comprehension test or exam. Thus, it takes a little time to preview. Just a few seconds of preview can have a difference in your reading later. Okay, so focus on the title, the first one, right? First strategy of previewing. Start previewing by looking at the title, using it to think of previewing question about the idea and portion in the passage. Example, headline of the article, work block factory, right? Worker block factory. So we preview just like scanning for information, right? WA question. So possible previewing question. Where did worker block the factory? Why did they block the factory? When did they block the factory? Who owned the factory? How long did the worker block the factory? What are the effects of blocking the factory? So worker block the factory, we have a lot of questions on there, right? To preview, to get us to know about what is happening. Okay, so go on another one, the last one, strategy 3 of previewing, right? I make it all together, scanning, previewing. 120, the last one. Guideline for previewing longer passages. How you preview depends on the kind of passage and your reason for reading it. In general, follow these steps. 1. Focus on the title and ask yourself about it. 2. Think about the kind of writing. Is it an email, a web, a newspaper article, part of a story? 3. Look at the heading or illustration. If there are any, how do they relate to the title? 4. Read the first few lines. Do they tell you more about the title? 5. Notice the language. Is it formal or informal, technical or personal? 6. Note the content. There are a lot of name, number, difficult or word. So the first one I summarize about focus on the title. Second, focus on the kind of writing. Third, look at the heading. 4 is read the few lines first, what is it talking about. And 5th, if the language, is it formal, informal or technical. And the last one is the content. Look about the name, the different verb, right? Okay, so we finish our strategy and our scanning preview. We can go to our text, right, to see more and practice. Any question you can ask right later in the book. Okay, thank you.